Good morning or afternoon, everybody. This is online yoga with Thea. It is June 11th, 2020. We're going to start in the regular way. I am going to stop sharing my picture and make Kathy, our student model, I'm going to spotlight her. If you don't see her, let me know because you need to see her. You can make your screen full screen if you want to see only her, actually. There she is, waving her arms just in case you don't see her. Now, we're going to start in the regular fashion, except if you have your therapy balls and a brick nearby, we're going to do a few things with the brick and with the ball behind the occipital ridge. Okay. So supine, and we're going to start with vagus nerve reset. So bring your arms, bend your elbows, bring your arms behind your head, interlace your fingers, and then rest your base of your skull, back of the base of the skull in that cradle you created with your hands. And just take a couple breaths. Then we're going to start moving the eyeballs. So without moving anything else, and with your eyes either open or closed, your choice, shift your eyeballs to the right and wait for an involuntary gulp, sigh, swallow, or yawn. Come back to center and shift your eyeballs to the left and wait again for an involuntary, an automatic yawns, swallow, sigh, or gulp. Return to center and do this twice more. Right, left, taking your time. You're just inviting the body to start to relax, the nervous system specifically to relax. Hi, Diana. We're in the middle of vagus nerve reset. And once you finish that, go ahead and grab your therapy balls in a tote, 2 of them in a tote. And for Suzanne, maybe it's her tennis balls in a sock. And put them behind your head, and you may want to put a thin brick between the balls and the floor. So we're going to do the head ramping we're going to do on the therapy balls. So notice that for Kathy, she tried the block and it didn't work. So now she's just doing the balls. And you might have to, the balls might slip and slide and you might have to, especially when you first get started, and then you might have to adjust them. Otherwise, you can kind of train your head to know where to be on the balls. Now, I know we can do a glide, and we'll see if we can do a press. So just start to glide over the forward and backward over the balls. Now, Kathy, those look a little low to me, and not, I'm not sure, but be sure you don't bring them down in the curvature of the cervical spine, because you'll lose the benefit, basically. So just back and forth, 10 degrees forward. This is a C1 glide on the balls. Just now that you have your balls, you can start to use them at home. We're not going to always use them here. There are YouTubes on how to use these therapy balls. Just look up Yoga Tune-Up Therapy Balls, YouTube. There's a book also called The Role Model Method. It's a very fat book, has lots of moves. And now just side to side, small side to side movement. Look left, look right over the balls. If you have alpha balls, bigger balls, I like those here at the neck too. The only reason I suggested that you buy the pluses first is because you need them for footwork. I don't recommend the alpha balls on footwork, but otherwise I like alpha balls better for almost everything. And just go ahead and come back to center, and then maybe hold on to the balls and press into the balls, just like the head ramping into your hands. Instead, you're head ramping into the balls. Press, release, press, release. You'll have to hold on to your balls. I don't think they're going to stay still for you. So this is not a glide back and forth. This is just a pressing down. So Kathy, just press into your balls as if you, just as if you had your hands cupped behind there. Now maybe I made this up. Maybe it's not available. Maybe the balls are too slippery, slidey. If they are, remove the balls and then put your hands behind your head and do it the traditional way. Press and release and press and release. Someday, not this week, I'm going to teach you a seated one that's a little like this that I bumped into the other day, and it's pretty cool. Coming soon to a class near you. Okay, let's stop that. You can either continue to lie on your balls, or you can lie on your washcloths, or a combination of washcloths and balls. We're going to do some breathing. Rib cage breathing. But before we do the actual breath work, not that you're not breathing already, I hope. Anyway, um, I want you to dig your fingers in underneath your rib cage, at the bottom of your rib cage. Just find you can do both hands on one side of the rib cage and then the other, or you can have one hand on one side and the other. This is you're massaging and unsticking the diaphragm muscle, which is the breathing muscle, and should feel good. Well, actually, when I first started doing this, at the outer edges, I felt some discomfort, but I kept at it, and that's not the case anymore. This is a great thing to do before you actually start a rib cage breathing practice. Or you could do it while you're rib cage breathing, and then if that's the case, on your inhale, your hands will pop out of the little digging area, and then on the exhale, they can go back in. So now just put your hands, wrap your hands around your rib cage, the base of your rib cage, with your thumbs facing the floor and your fingers facing your belly button or your rib cage. And on your inhale, I want you to focus on breathing in the rib cage. So rib cage or diaphragmatic breathing, and inhaling, and the rib cage expands in all directions. So up, back, and from front to back and side to side. And exhale, it retracts. And inhale. So this is a breathing practice that focuses on the breath in the diaphragm, and the rib, between the diaphragm is protected by the rib cage, actually. This is a great breathing pattern to improve your breathing and your respiratory system. If anyone can't hear me, let me know. I have a new little microphone on. I don't know whether it does. I'm trying to figure out what it does, how effective it is.
It's working well.
Oh, good. A couple more breaths. And one more. Stay where you are. We're going to do a hypopressive core work bridge. We're going to do the bridge with hypopressive breathing. So your hands are beside you on the floor, palms down. Your heels are on the mat and your toes are towards the ceiling or the sky. We're going to take 3 breaths, and then at the end of the 3rd breath, hold your breath while I count to 10. So inhale. Oh, whoops, one more thing. And that is when I ask you to hold your breath, you're going to lift your hips up into a bridge, and you're going to take your arms, both of your arms, overhead by your ears. Okay, that's the other thing, the missing link. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, never mind. Inhale. I thought I hadn't recorded. And exhale, senior moment. And one more, inhale. And exhale. Hold your breath out, lift your hips, bring your arms overhead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And inhale and drop your hips and drop your arms. If you can't hold your hips up like that, you could put a brick under your hips. Let's do it one more time. 3 breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. No breath. Hold your breath out. Lift your hips. Bring your arms overhead by your ears. 1, 2, 3. Stay as long as you can. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale. Hips come down and arms come down. Good. Come up to standing. We're going to do 3 movements that are classic yoga. Well, the last one's on a chair. But the first one is just standing in what's called mountain pose. You're just going to stand. You'll notice this is just standing and becoming aware of your breath and your body. And I would put I would have the feet coming forward. But other than that, just standing and breathing. Tadasana, like a mountain.
Okay.
This is a classic yoga pose. It's it's the beginning pose for a lot of yoga practice, traditional yoga practices. So we're just going to be here and breathe. You can close your eyes. Kathy, if you want to bring your feet a little closer together so that so that your feet are directly underneath your hips. And you'll start to notice that you are a mountain and that you have a balancing mechanism inside of you. Your thumbs can face forward. There's a really long name for this pose. I try to avoid using Sanskrit names for yoga poses. Oh, I could tell it to you, Tadasana. This is a quiet, balancing, noticing, exploration pose. There's a lot of peace in this pose. The next pose we're going to do is tree pose, which is a balancing pose. It's not what I usually do for balancing, but I think, and if this is hard for you, or any variation is hard for you, you should have a chair beside you on one side of you. Well, you can hold on to the chair, but if this is hard for you, you can do one of the balancing movements that we've done in the past, including either bring your knee up straight in front of you, because we're going to bring the knee up to the side, or you could just hook your one foot behind the other. But we're going to do a tree pose. So what I'm going to have Kathy do is, and she'll switch the chair to the other side for the second round, the second side. So Kathy, why don't you put your hand on the chair so you can demonstrate it that way, and then bring your right foot against your left ankle. Bend your knee. It's onto the side. So on the side. Yes, that's it. So you can start way down, even lower than that, Kathy, if you want, down on your ankle. That's a kind of a baby tree. And there you are, standing in tree pose. This will get bigger. The knee bend will get bigger. You can hold onto the chair, or you can stand without. If you want to, you can stay there, or you can bring your right foot up to your knee, either just above it or just below it, but not on it. It's still on, your foot is tucked on the side, inside of your left leg. So you see we're doing a standing pose. So Kathy, bring your foot forward onto the leg. Yeah, it's more like that. And then come up, all the way up if you can. You could hold on. Come all the way up so your foot is in your groin. Drop your toes down. Can you drop your toes down? It's more like that. Yep. Mm-hmm. Now look at you. And so if she could get her leg a little bit farther back, but that may be as far back as she can get with, you know, this is a hip rotation. This is one of the reasons I don't teach this all the time, is because it's hard for some people to rotate back as far as the perfect tree pose goes. But this looks great. I think this looks great. Now, if you wanted to add something, you can bring your arms up by your ears, or one arm at a time, or one arm. Yep. One arm or both arms, and then you can bring your hands down into Namaste. That is perfect. I want to see how other people are doing. Let's go to the other side. So this is a balancing pose, but it's also a hip rotation, notice? So that's the thing that makes it harder. Balancing on standing on the right leg. There's a baby tree. So can you bring your foot directly to the side? Yeah, it's more like that. Yeah, so there. Mm-hmm. And anywhere along your leg, even as far down as the floor or as far up as your groin. And then you can either have your hand on the chair or not. You may, one suggestion I forgot to tell you is to look straight ahead at an imaginary point. That's, you know, ahead of you 6 feet, or the wall across the room, or. Now, if you want to add arms, you can bring your arms, one arm or both, up high by your ear. If you bring both arms up, then you want to bring them, after a while, you want to bring them down, and that is to prayer pose. Yippee skippy. That is tree pose. It has a Sanskrit name I didn't write down, so you don't get to hear it. Okay, so enough of that. We're going to do, the next one we're going to do is a lunge or a warrior pose. I don't know about you, Leslie, and your hip. Let's see how this works, but you're gonna sit on the chair. So have the chair facing forward. Yes, sit on the chair facing forward. You're not going to need a brick. I don't think so. Now, move your right knee around to the right. Yes, and put your foot on the floor in front of you. Your ankle is directly under your knee, a little farther back. And now move your left leg behind you. Yep, it goes the other direction behind you. And it is about, so the right leg is 90 degrees. The left leg is This is the hard part, I think, for people, is the left leg is straight out and sideways. So no, not that way. Let's see. I think maybe I will try to demonstrate this. Although it's hard for me too. This is, but I like the idea of getting people, you guys, a little bit excited about some of it. So some of the standard yoga poses and their variations. So I'm going to try to get, tell me, Kathy, I'm going to pin myself.
Yeah, I can't pin you.
No, I know you can't. Oh, I could make you a host and you could pin me, I think. I'm gonna pin me. I'm gonna walk back here. I have all this cord, by the way. Frida's on, anyone see Frida? She's under the, let's see here. I think I'm gonna have to be back even farther. Hold on.
You're still not pinned for me.
I'm not pinned? Oh, I have to spotlight me, I guess, to make it true.
There you go. There you go.
Now, can you see Frida? She's right under the chair. So here I am. I start. I'm seated here. I bring my right leg out this way.
Okay.
Oh, I wish.
Hey, Mom, can you make your camera go down just a little?
Yeah, just tilt it down just an inch. There you go. There you go.
Okay.
Now I see the cat. Hi,
Lucy.
Frida.
She doesn't know what she's in for.
Yeah.
Forward. So you're seated forward. You take the right leg out like this.
Mhm.
It's straight out, 90-degree angle. Foot on the floor. The left leg is back this way. Oops, I have a piece of equipment. Shoot, hold on just a sec. Frida's like, what? Back I am. The left leg is out,
Oh, okay.
like it's 60-degree angle.
Okay.
You
Okay.
see that? That's your triangle pose. I mean, that's your warrior pose. I find this, it hurts me here to do this. So I might take the leg forward a little bit more to get out of that. So theoretically, it should be behind me a little more. I'm forward. You might want to be forward too. So what you're trying to do is get this leg, the back leg, in a position that allows you to have your hips straight forward. And this is warrior. Well, bring your arm up, one arm or both. This is warrior one. If you want to, you can lift your body off of the chair and do warrior one. Can you see? You can't see my body at this point, can you?
We can see your body, just not your arms.
Right. That's the problem. Let's see something. I'm going to do one farther back and see if this helps. Hold on. So don't worry if you can't do the whole enchilada. If you can do this, if you can get your leg behind you straight, but maybe mine's a little in front of me because when I try to go back this far, I can't. Then you go back that far and then you turn forward. But I could do it with my ankle up, but not with my foot down. So I'm inviting you to find this pose without finding the specific leg angle that is recommended by most teachers. So here you are, you're on the chair. Oh, I found a little bit more space for this leg by scooting my butt back over here. Then your arm goes up, this arm goes up. It's a little bit of a back bend. You could hold on with one arm if you need to. The idea is to have your torso straight forward like this. Warrior one on a chair. If you want to, you can come up. warrior one, slightly off the chair.
Wow. Okay.
I'm going to have Kathy try to do it on the other side.
I
So
think I've got.
what? I'm going to have you, oh, I'm going to have to unspotlight me. And I'm going to cancel me and put Kathy up. Does anyone have any questions about that?
I think another maybe good cue is to, when you have your body should be facing the same way as your right leg is facing.
Yes, that's a good cue. And as I've heard teachers say, your hips, your hips or your boobs actually are like headlights. They're straightforward. So that's the quality of warrior that is that where the torso is facing forward. So try to find a place for your back leg that allows your torso not facing forward to me, facing forward over your knee or your foot. Yes. Now see if you can find a place for your leg that allows for that. This is it. This is warrior one. Now the reason I'm starting to introduce these some of these poses to you because they have some twisting that is helpful for some major back issues. And also I think because a lot of times I think of my class as, oh, there, and I have my friend Terry, she and I talk about this. Can our students do these things? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. But I said that I have some problems on the left side of my hip when I'm bringing my foot back like that. That's because I haven't done this in a long time. So you're going to get better at this too if I throw this in occasionally. Let's drop classic yoga. That was 3 classic yoga poses. And the warrior, I love warrior too. So I've got to find my script now. What was I planning next? Please come down to no, please stay here with a brick at the wall. We're going to do a series, a really nice series, 3 movements at the wall. You're going to stand on your brick with the inside foot or the leg that's closest to the wall. And you're going to dangle the leg that's away from the wall. This is called pendulum. It's a really nice hip opener. It'd be really good for your hip, Leslie, I think. I don't know which side you're on, but we need to help sometimes the hips get so tight and it's difficult for them to move. And this pendulum, where you're just dangling and allowing the leg to move, it's not really a big forward push or a backward push. It's nothing like that. It's a little bit of a, what can my leg do when I have the extra space really underneath the brick, the brick space that allows it to drop out of the socket and move forward and backward. So and we're going to stay on this side and do another movement. I like to do this when I'm standing at a bus stop on a curb. I have to hold on to something though. Well, yeah, I like to hold on to something and do this. It's called the pendulum. The next thing you're going to do is stop the pendulum, put your hands at your waist at the top of the pelvis and do a hip hike. So your right hip goes up and then down. It has all the benefits, the brick benefit. That it allows you to go up and then drop way down. And the pelvis goes up, the right side of the pelvis, and it drops down. And do that a couple more times. And now we're going to do a side bend. Joe Miller calls this a boomerang, but it stays the same. You're at the same place, but you're going to bring your arms, so your arm overhead, your outside arm. Just standing on the brick.
Well, I want you to see my arms, so.
Nice, yeah, but I don't know whether we can. Yeah. Okay, standing on the brick, and then you put your right ankle in front of the left ankle. This helps with the curve, and then take your take your right arm, open over towards the wall, palm up, and then you can, if you can get it over there, you can press it into the wall. So you're side bending, you're stretching the armpit and the shoulder. The bottom arm is touching the wall also. I wish, that looks pretty good. I'm looking at.
On a different angle? Here.
So Parvin's not on a wall, she's on a chair. But she's getting the idea of the twist though. Okay, I don't see Leslie at all. Okay, now switch sides, everybody. You want to know, you're going to show us that at another angle?
Yeah.
This is getting to be high-tech production. And that was exactly what I was thinking, Kathy. Oh, I wish they could see you at a slightly different angle.
I'm trying to think what's best here. Sorry. Trying to get the whole thing. Let me see how this looks.
Next time we do this, you'll know.
Yeah.
So there you are. So remember the ankle crosses in front of the other ankle. That adds to the curve. And then bring your elbow down, the bottom elbow down, and hold on to the push on the wall, but it's down farther. And then the upper arm goes up and over. So, and the right hip is out, so away from the wall. So try to encourage that curvature. Press into the wall with your bottom hand. Press into the wall with your top hand. Nice, that's better actually. And then come on out of it and go to the other side, pendulum on the other side.
Yeah, that was the other side. So now we have to do this side.
Okay, so that's the other side. So we already did, oh, well, for other people not.
We went backwards.
Probably in this case might want to be a little closer to the wall so that you can stand up straight. So that when I look at you, oh, this is an interesting way to look at you. Pendulum, just 5 or 6 times. And then hip hike. 5 or 6 times. And now the side bend. Up and over. Drop your hand, the bottom hand, drop it farther down and press away from the wall with your bottom hand. Get your elbow on the top hand. Top elbow as high as you can get it. There you go. So you should be feel a lot of bending. This is a really nice way to support and enhance a side bend. Come on down, come on out of that and come to a floor seated, knees stacked, or the cow pose on the legs. If you need to sit on a blanket or a brick, if you can't do this on the floor, you can sit in a chair and do eagles, which is a little different. I could Tell me, you need to tell me if you're sitting in a chair. If you can't do this on the floor, you're sitting in the chair. I'm going to tell you an alternative movement. Miss Frida. We're going to do what we some of us were practicing before class, actually. So
This is awkward for me.
okay, let's see here. Can you drop one knee? And yes, that's it. That's it. Now, that looks pretty good to me. Now,
I'm on a brick.
what?
I'm on a brick.
Well, you're on a brick. Okay, that's good. I think a brick is what made it possible. You should feel a nice stretch on the outside of, Scott should do this, Leslie. A nice stretch on the outside of your hips. If anyone is on a chair, let me know. Otherwise, because I'm not going to demonstrate the alternative unless someone is. Okay, then now that's the bottom part. And then the next part is that twisted arms. So let's call it twisted arms. So the arms come out in front of you, and then one arm crosses over the other. You clasp your fingers and then bring them down towards your knee, and then towards your chest, and then up. And stay tall. And see if you can bring your wrists down farther. I think that's the hardest part. And stay here and take a couple breaths. So many good things are happening to your body here. The cow face, the legs is a traditional yoga pose. The top, the arms is a little different. We usually do another arm pose with it, but I like this one better actually. Go ahead and switch sides, Kathy.
All around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I'm going to do this too. Now, switch sides on your arms too. So I should have made a distinction there, but I help you switch sides. And then come bring your arms under and towards your chest. Sit tall, take 6 breaths. We probably should have stayed. I'm going to have you switch back again. Well. And then go ahead and put your hands on your feet. I like to do this. Put your hands on your feet and press up to sit tall. See if that feels good. You can even press down on your feet with your palms. It's a little different. And then bring your arms behind you and interlace your fingers. Sit tall. From here, I want you to fold forward with a flat back. It may be just an inch, you guys. So I don't want you to round your back. You're hinging at the hip. It could be just an inch. It could be more. Keep your chest open. And then slowly bring yourself back up to seated. We're going to switch back because we didn't do that one on the other side. I should have done it. I should have kept you there and done it on the other side, but I didn't. So back to the other side. Bring your hands behind you, interlace your fingers. Sit tall. Bring your arms up higher if you can. Now from here, Fold forward, flat back, forward, hinge, maybe just an inch. Keep your chest open. Don't round your back. One of the problems with rounding your back is if you have osteopenia or osteoporosis, you risk crushing the front of the vertebra, and because the vertebra are already fragile, and it's the front you crush, you would have a compression fracture. So rounding the back, the only thing I ever teach is a very gentle rounded back sometimes. The next thing we're going to do is stay here, but bring your top knee up so your bottom foot is, we're going to do a knee hug. I call it a knee hug spine twist. So the bottom leg is straight or bent. The top knee is up toward the ceiling, and you're hugging the knee with your opposite hand. So hug whichever knee you're on. Hold with the opposite hand, then bring the other hand back behind you, and then you can also bring your chin back towards your arm. So sit tall. Try to feel a lot of length in your spine. You should feel a nice twist at the it's 12 T1 at the waist, twist at the waist, T1 and T12 L1. And breathe, and then come on back. And switch to the other side. We're going to do the knee hug spine twist on the other side. Remember, you could have your leg extended, your bottom leg extended or bent. You're holding on to your top knee, which is bent toward the ceiling, with your opposite arm, hand, or elbow. Whichever you can do. Your torso is twisting away from that knee, and then your arm comes behind you to help you twist. You can bring your chin back over your arm, towards your arm as well. Drop your chin a little bit, Kathy. And feel tall, so the twist is a twist and is also a lengthener. So feel long as you twist. You could do this on a chair if this was hard for you to do. Although I think the knee, this is a wonderful twist, and if you're up in a chair, you miss some of the hip stretch that's available to you. Come on out of that, you guys, and come down onto the floor and rest in either a child's pose or a crocodile pose, because we've just done a lot of work. The crocodile pose is prone with your arms stacked and your head resting on your stacked arms, folded and stacked. The child's pose is you're just coming up from that and bringing your hips back to sit on your heels. I just want you to rest for a minute. Watch your breath. Is there anyone doing a child's pose that I could find? I don't. So Anne is doing a child's pose. So Anne is doing a child's pose. I just wanted to show someone a child's pose. We can't see all of her, but she is doing a child's pose. She's not flat on the floor. Everybody else, I see everybody else who has a picture. I can't see enough of them to tell what they're doing. Let's see what. Oh no. Cobra's doing. Okay, so now that you've rested, we're going to do the elbow propping. So from a prone position, whoops, why can't I get back here? From a prone position, come up, bring your chest up and put your elbows directly under. Let me see, I can't find Kathy. There. Put your elbows directly under your shoulders. To bring yourself up, you create a little hammock with your upper back. This is a very nice pose for breathing and for opening up the upper back and the front of the chest, actually. If this hurts your lower back, you need to adjust it a little bit. So make it smaller. While you're here, because I like adding glute squeezes wherever I can, go ahead and alternately squeeze one buttock and then the other. And breathing, this location, this pose allows your diaphragm more room than it usually has to breathe. And you can feel like you're breathing also into the back of your lungs. There's some more, maybe I'll do this sometime. I'll add this to this one. In Pilates, you actually start moving your legs, bending your knees. I'll do that another time, coming soon. Now we're gonna do the traditional back extension. This is, by the way, a Pilates move. The yoga move is a little different than this, but I like this one better. I think it does, you get more bang for your buck. Lie on your belly, arms at your side, palms up. Take an inhale, and then lift your arms, your chest, and your head. And stay here. Bring your arms a little closer to your hips. Take some breaths. And then inhale and exhale and come back down. This is level one. We're going to do two more levels, airplane and then superwoman. If you can't do either of those, just stay at the lower level. Inhale and exhale. Come up. Inhale, arms out to a T, airplane. And inhale, and then come on down. Nice work. Inhale and exhale, lift your arms, your chest, your head. Take another inhale and then exhale, bring your arms out into airplane. Take another inhale and then exhale, bring your arms in front of you but by your ears as high as you can. And then inhale and then exhale and come down, all the way down to rest. Nice work, everybody. Now find your way onto your back for Yoga Nidra, 61-point guided meditation. I'm going to stop my video. I wanted to say before I do this, because I'll forget after, or I might forget after. Well, you want to find a comfortable position with your legs extended or your knees bent or your knees up on a chair. You could have a washcloth over your eyes. And if it's cold where you are, you might want a blanket. But before we start, I'm going to say that I've just thought of this idea of I want to make an announcement. If anyone wants a little guidance on how to do something or how to do an alternative for something, I can't do this, can you show me how to do something similar or with a prop, or if someone wants that, I'm offering free mini Zooms to help you. So it would just be one item that you needed help with. I would record them and put them up on my YouTube channel, so they would be available to people. And then actually, if I showed someone how to do something and someone asked about it, maybe I could say, oh, there's a YouTube on that. So you get the picture, I hope. So just contact me if you would like to have a mini Zoom with me. Now, go ahead and pay attention to the body parts that I mentioned without moving them. You're moving your attention, but you're not moving your body. Starting with your breath, observing your inhale and your exhale. And now bring your awareness to the center of your eyebrows, the center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, right shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, left elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, right knee, right ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, left knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This completes your 61-point Yoga Nidra guided meditation. Start to return to your attention to your breath. Extend your legs. Stretch your body in both directions with your arms overhead and your legs extended. Try to create a little more space between your pelvis and your rib cage. Wiggle and stretch and wiggle and stretch. Right leg, right side, left side. Wiggle fingers and toes. Bring your right knee to your chest. And then your left. Both knees to chest. Roll side to side, releasing tension in the lower back. Roll to one side. Stay here and rest. Hi, popcorn. And come on up to seated. Come on up to your favorite floor seated position. I am going to unmute everybody. And I'm going to unspotlight Kathy. And I know for me, I also have to turn it on to gallery view to get everybody in a little picture, but I love doing that. So bring your hands to your heart from your favorite floor seated position. And then glide your skull, base of your skull over C1. Nodding, bowing to each other. And we'll close the class by saying to each other, namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I'm going to turn off the recording. People can stay or go. And remember the mini Zooms.